What's up, everybody? We're back. The We Believe You podcast, episode 8. I am one of your hosts, Steven. I'm here with my co-host, Lonnie.
What up?
Yeah, we're back. It's been a minute.
Been a long minute. We apologize.
Yeah, we apologize for that. We want to thank you guys for still listening. We've still been getting many downloads from you. A big portion of that, I think, is because of our last episode with your brother, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And so shout out to Tim and the Podular Modcast. It's all about modular synthesis. Check it out if that's your thing.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the better he gets at it, the more I enjoy what he does with it.
Yes. For sure.
And when I tried to, I'm like a pretty musical person. I've been playing music forever. And when I sat down in front of that thing and tried to make noises, it just sounded like a really angry robot, farting at me.
I haven't even tried.
Yeah.
I don't dare. It's intimidating.
Yeah. So, thank you for all the people who have downloaded and listened from that. Tonight, we're going to read a few stories that were written by people that sent them to us from different message boards and a few listeners. So, it's pretty cool. I always like when that can happen. I have a new personal story.
Yes.
And it's been a long time. And so we're going to actually start with that because it involves Tim and Hannah. If you were listening to our last episode, or if you listen to the Podular Modcast, you know them. But we were hanging out at their house about like a month and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer, because this episode is way overdue, and it was on my list of things to talk about. But we were hanging out, just, I think, eating dinner. And I think we played a little bit of Mad Gab. But everybody was out on the back porch smoking a little bit. And I looked inside and I could see their cat sitting there. And then a little bit down the hallway, there was another big cat, but it just kind of looked like a shadow of a cat, like a big cat sitting there. And then I kind of looked away and looked back and it was gone. But the real cat was obviously paying attention to what I only can imagine is the ghost of their cat who passed away a few months ago. Because
I remember when we were standing there and your face would absolutely just like white and like jaw dropping and just being like, do you guys have two cats? And
yeah, I
like,
thought
not
maybe
anymore.
I thought maybe they had got a new cat, but I figured I'd known about that. But I almost had forgotten when I was looking at it that their cat had passed away a few months prior, and that cat was also really big.
Yeah, Lechuga was a very big cat.
Yeah, and that honestly freaked me out just quite a little bit.
They were so excited though. They're like, because Hannah, her Lechuga and Bella, they were litter mates, I believe. And then
I didn't know that.
I believe I could be wrong, so sorry if I'm incorrect. But she's had him forever, and so she was really excited, and she was like, "My boy's here!" It didn't scare them or anything. They were so excited, and it like kind of made her feel good that because even Bella showed interest of what.
Yeah, they were both
seeing.
Yeah, they were both just laying there, but it was a weird spot for. I know cats are fucking weird, but it was a weird spot for a cat to be laying, and then to be it was obviously paying attention to the other one. So I guess if you're gonna have a haunting, have it be like a pet that you love.
That'd be cool.
It's like our dog died here in our house. It'd be pretty sweet if he haunted the place, except he would hate Birdie.
Yeah, he would.
Our new puppy that replaced him.
Not replaced.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's what it was. That's what you do when a pet dies. You grieve for 5 days, and then you immediately get a new pet.
You feel that hole in your heart.
Yeah, as I always said, especially about Birdie, who is the first puppy I've ever actually had, that it's like, you got to fill that hole in your heart, and you got to replace all that sadness with just frustration and anger and resentment and hate towards the new puppy. Because you just got done having a good dog, and then you're like, oh, this thing's pissing and shitting on my floor and ripping all my shit apart.
Okay, everybody, just so you know, we love our dog. She just was
Puppies suck. They're cute, but
very
they're pieces of shit.
hard to potty train and chewed up everything.
Yeah, she was one difficult bitch.
Yes.
But
she's better now. She's good now.
Yeah. Have you had anything paranormal happen? There's got to be weird stuff that goes down at your work that like people don't like. If you guys don't know, Lonnie works at a retirement facility, and people die there all the time. That like there's gotta be ghosts that pass people in the halls that just nobody like. Someone's like, "Hey, Greg," and then someone's like, "Oh, Greg died 2 months ago."
That's not quite how residents sound.
Yeah, no, that's how old people sound.
That's not what they sound like. But I've had weird experiences at my work. Yes. Actually, the other day I was working late, and I was walking into our coffee room, and the lights started flickering, and it was just me and my boss. And I yelled out, "The ghosts are out!" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "The ghosts are out!" And he's like, What do you mean?" He was just like, "Whatever." And I was like, "The lights are flickering." He's just like, "Okay." But at work, there's been stories in our skilled nursing facility of people being like, switch me to a different room. There's somebody in the corner telling me to follow them. I don't want to.
Oh, fuck that
and
shit.
And then
I get old, if I live to be old, which is like 50-50, but like I'm gonna fuck with people so hard and be like, "Would you tell that man over there in the black hood with the giant sickle that he can just get out of my room right now?"
I hope that's how you sound.
No, I'm gonna have such a gravelly voice from like 60 years of like heavy pot smoking. I'm like, "Hey."
I had an experience where I was walking into our cafe to go get some coffee, and this is a while ago, but I walked in, and it felt like I walked into a wall. It wasn't just like a slight little bump, like it stopped me and pushed me back. Like I bumped into something, but there was nothing in front of me, and it was just, open space. And I look over, and another person was standing there staring at me with like this really weird look, and I just kind of looked at them and was just like, I don't know, and I just kept walking because when you like are in a crowd and you like bump into somebody, you get like pushed back a little bit. Yeah, it was like that. It was like hot. Like I full on ran into somebody is what it felt like.
Damn.
And then I got pushed back, and I was like, all right. It was weird, but I mean, yeah, we deal with a lot of the passing of people, but
on Halloween we should go to your work, summon some shit up.
No, it's okay. I'm good.
It's a bunch of old.
I'm gonna be at work.
It's a bunch of old rich people. Like somebody there is into that satanic shit.
We're done talking about my work.
Yeah, but someone's got to be into it.
Maybe.
So
I don't know. Anyways, but I'm gonna give a shout out right now because we are drinking some wine.
Yes,
sitting on our couch with our fireplace screensaver, and it's so comfy. And we are drinking Witching Hour, which is a 2014 California Reserve. What is it? Deep red blend.
It's so fucking good.
It's one of my favorite wines right now. We went to Total Wine and bought 4 or 5 bottles of it.
Yeah, it's like neither of us drink very much.
It's on the high end for us because it's like almost $8 a bottle.
Yeah. So if you're one of those classy folk like us,
yeah, if you're classy,
wants to impress people with an $8 bottle, that's the way to go.
Witching Hour, so good.
And throughout this episode, you'll probably also hear me doing bong rips. I'm smoking a few things, but I gotta give a shout out to Green and Gold brands here in Washington. They grow the exotics genetics material, and their lip smacker is fucking delicious. That's what I'm smoking, and it tastes so good. I ran out of it, and I'm like, I want more, but where I bought it is far away. So yeah, we're gonna start reading some stuff. This guy, he wrote me quite a bit. It's a few stories that all connect, and so Yeah, I think I found him on the Hardcore Paranormal group page on Facebook. So if you're into anything we're talking about, you should go join the Hardcore Paranormal group. They let not just anybody join, but you got to answer a few questions, I think. But they people are always posting cool paranormal shit, and they seem to have filtered out a lot of the people posting like the obvious bullshit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you guys, what's outside my window? I think there's a UFO invasion, and it's like the reflection of the lights on the ceiling, like in their office, and it's like, god damn. There's literally people that were like, oh my god. It's like,
Oh.
God, how fucking dumb are you, twonks? Like, and so the new moderators have done a great job of getting rid of that shit. But so, yeah, let me see what this dude's name is. His name is Matthias, and this is his story. And I apologize for having the reading level of like a fifth grader too. So, um, during the spring of 2004, I was working at a pizzeria in Sarasota, Florida. I closed up shop at 12 almost every night, and I had a 45-minute drive home to what was then a small town called Northport. I had three experiences within that time span of a week that got progressively weirder. The first experience took place in my driveway, and I called my girlfriend at the time to let her know I was home and to say goodnight. I stayed outside and smoked a cigarette while on the phone and noticed two very white and orange colored objects zigzagging around the sky. My girlfriend called me crazy when I told her what I was looking at. The objects moved or continued to move and remained visible for about 10 minutes before finally disappearing altogether. I was pretty excited to have witnessed these, and as a result, I had a very restless night. The second experience took place a few days later. I was driving home from work when I turned down the road that leads to my neighborhood. Immediately in the field to my right, I saw what can best be described as an upside down, elongated diamond shaped object that was extremely bright. It wasn't illuminating the surrounding area. This object was as bright as the sun, yet the ground beneath it and the trees and shrubs surrounding it were not. It was very strange. I stayed there for approximately 2 more minutes, noticing the way the light didn't emanate outwards on anything before becoming overwhelmed with the feeling that I needed to get out of there. I stomped on the gas pedal and looked back at the diamond shaped object once more, only to witness it shrink into itself and disappear altogether. I was shocked, and when I pulled into my driveway, I sat in my car for about 20 minutes, trying to make sense of what I saw. Needless to say, it was another sleepless night. God, that's fucking creepy. The third experience takes place in my bedroom. It was a long day and night at work. I closed up and came home as usual. I needed to unwind a little, so I took a shower, messed about on the computer, made a snack, and called it a night. That's my kind of night.
That is.
I need to unwind. Or so I thought. I got into bed, got into a comfortable position, and slowly drifted off. In my bedroom, I have a lamp that allows you to adjust the brightness, and when I got to sleep, I put it on the dimmest setting. This night seemed no different from any other. I woke up, and as my eyes adjusted to the light in the room, I watched in awe as every metal object in my room seemed to sweat out or ooze, for lack of a better term, a golden cover substance that had the same viscosity of molasses in winter.
No.
My car keys, the doorknob, the base to my lamp, the hangers for my clothes, every metal object. I couldn't make sense of it, but it was also becoming aware that I was no longer alone in my paralyzed, and I was paralyzed and I couldn't make a sound. My eyes could move, however, and I noticed there was little people on each side of the bed. These weren't the usual gray type in in my bed, and I'm seeing the golden color substance being reabsorbed back into the metal objects, and I'm hearing the sound of these little blue guys scurrying around the bed. I must have fell asleep rather quickly after this happening. The next morning, I woke up and felt as if I ran a marathon, and my shirt was on inside out and backwards.
What?
So that's Matthias.
Whoa.
right?
I don't like it.
Yeah, so like my first thought, hearing the second, like the first part, was like, oh, crazy, like, because like we've had a few UFO stories, but like that one just kind of is, it's unique in its own way with like the way everything looked and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But like when the third part starts, like immediately I'm thinking like another sleep paralysis story.
Yeah.
But like that's unlike any sleep paralysis story I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
no, I haven't heard the oozing of
And like people always see
things.
things, but like a lot of time it's like shadow figures and like just to like see like little blue like creatures like that's
I
yeah.
don't
So
like it.
yeah, so yeah, that's I thought that was a fun
Wonder
one.
if he's ever had any more besides that. Like, if it, I don't know. Matthias, if you're listening, let us know. Has this continued? Was it just that one night? Anything weird happened to you? Like, since?
Yeah,
I mean, the waking up and like being paralyzed and only being able to move your eyes, but then waking up and having your shirt on inside out and backwards, like,
yeah,
and not knowing what you did.
that's some shit right there.
Oh, that's scary.
So yeah,
Cool story though.
yeah, glad you took the time to write all that out for us.
Yeah, thank you. I have a story here from Kat Hoff. She's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Um, so she writes us in a store in this. So here we go. I felt I had a follower for a while. When I was a young teenager, I tried a Ouija board for fun in a bathroom with a few girls on my Girl Scout troop. I don't know what happened, but the board flipped over and flew against the wall in the middle of a storm. I had always been a big horror fan, but never actually experienced something like that. I used to call people out for faking those types of things. Started small. Small things would happen, like things being knocked off or sounds happening upstairs. When I had my son, he would talk to nobody in the room or stop dead in his tracks, look up, and act as if he was walking around something. Nope.
Fuck.
As my son was 3, he started speaking about a presence. He called him Scary Guy and said he
Jesus
was
Christ.
hot and had an animal face and sometimes carried snakes on his shoulder. I cared for a wolf hybrid at the time that constantly barked at my son's room, so I closed it off. I now know not to give them personal space. And moved him in with me. One night I woke up and my son was there beside me, standing to tell me he doesn't like you or your baby. I was pregnant. Oh, I just got goosebumps. Oh, I don't like that. I
Yeah.
called a minister. My husband at the time did not believe in spirits and tell me. During the visit with the church, things in my bathroom got thrown. They left us with no solution of comfort. We threw the word we threw the word demon around for a while until I started researching. I now believe that imagery was a scare tactic. I left my abusive ex-husband and events slowed down. Good for you. I've been
For
told
real.
the energy could have definitely enhanced contact or moments of, quote, acting out and leaving the violence. I was able to dig deeper into the situation. Since leaving, there have been minimal encounters. I caught a video of my then 2-year-old daughter talking to someone. And she quotes, this is what her daughter is saying: "You want to kill? Someone kill you? That scares me." We have seen a few things move, and my skeptical husband is growing less skeptical after watching book pages start turning. Also, one night after, while gaming together, he watched 4 even marks show up on my leg, and at the same moment, a friend texted that something was happening in our house with cabinets opening and closing. That was crazy. When I moved, I commanded the entity to leave the demon act or I'd remove him from my home. My son never brought him up again, and everything since has been mild. I may just be totally batshit, but it all seemed very real to me. I have goosebumps.
Yeah, that's some shit right
I'm very
there.
proud of you and everything for leaving an abusive husband. Like, good for you for getting out of that situation for you and for your children.
Yeah.
I'm happy things have slowed down because that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm so glad nothing happens here at this house, really.
yeah, but
There was moments where, we had a thought, but
I'm just happy that her and her kids are safer.
yeah.
Like, thank you, Kat, for sharing that. That's crazy and scary, and we believe you, and we don't think you're batshit. So things happen for who knows why.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny now that I've mentioned here. It makes me think that ever since a certain person left our life, like so much weird paranormal spooky shit stopped happening.
It's true.
Yeah. So
Negative energy, negative people, they can like kind of conjure up that
yeah.
that whole feeling and that
Yeah.
negativity and
And,
bad
and
things.
energy vampires suck that
Yeah.
shit out of you. We can all laugh about that shit, but like that shit's real.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna have to do this not the way I wanted to, because on this episode I really wanted to bring back our new segment, Drugs or Paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
But the meme I was going to reference with all the statistics was removed from Facebook, and I can't find it anywhere, which is fucking dumb. So I'm gonna break it down essentially like this.
Go for it.
When you look at a map
Mm.
of where the most Bigfoot sightings take place in the whole United States, primarily all of those sightings seem to be taking place in areas that have the highest cannabis consumption rates. Is that drugs or paranormal?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that's part of the game.
Yeah. Maybe Bigfoot exists on a realm only accessed with cannabis. And he's actually walking around all over. Oh, here comes Birdie.
And that's how Birdie feels about it.
Yeah, she's whining right into the microphone, aren't you, girl? I actually had to move our pug, Eric, who was in between us, when he started snoring directly into the microphone during one of your stories. So if you thought somebody was farting, it was actually a pug just simply breathing. Well, that's what they sound like.
He's such a sleepy man.
Yeah.
I do have another story, though. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
It's not my story, but
Birdie, must you insist to breathe directly into where the microphone is?
Birdie's pretty cute, though.
She's very cute. But she can also fuck right off for about the next 15 minutes, can't you there, dog?
Come on, pretty girl.
Aren't we the best?
Come on, pretty girl. Yeah, there's my girl.
See, that's the fun part about having dogs instead of kids, is when they come up to annoy you, you can just say, hey, bitch, can you fuck off right over there for about 10 minutes? And no one bats an eyelash.
Oh, but she's so cute.
Although, what I called Birdie this weekend did seem to cross everybody's line.
We will not repeat.
No, we won't. But it started with thunder. Yeah, and the other word rhymed with unt.
God.
Yeah.
We're good people. He's a good man, guys.
We both call her pretty terrible names all the time, and sometimes certain things just roll off the tongue better than others.
But she's so pretty.
She's a very thick girl. The way the groomer groomed our dog actually made it look like she has huge, enormous butt cheeks.
She's got hips.
She's got hips. But so yeah, with the drugs are paranormal. I still haven't seen Bigfoot, and I've smoked a lot of weed in the woods up here in the Northwest.
Your time will come.
Yes. Speaking of, we reached out to a lady. We were actually driving past Mount Rainier last weekend, and we stopped where we always stop in Greenwater, Washington, which, if you're ever up here, pass through there and get some huckleberry licorice. It's so fucking good. And the
huckleberry ice cream.
That huckleberry ice cream is so fucking good. But that area supposedly is prime for Bigfoot sightings and experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Joe Rogan had that show. Joe Rogan Questions Everything. They went through and actually interviewed the people at the general store. But we picked up a card for a lady who does will take you out on a Bigfoot hunt.
I want to do it.
Me too. It's her and her dog. So we need to bring Eric, our pug, out there. We got to leave Birdie at home though. I don't
Oh.
think she can handle Bigfoot. But yeah, so we're gonna try to interview her actually and hear her story. And here,
Hopefully.
hopefully,
Yeah.
we reached out. We've reached out to a few people that haven't reached back yet. Like the guy who has sex with aliens and paints the photos of it.
Yeah.
Reached out to him, but he was on Danny Brown's show, and
Yeah.
so I think he's got that fuck you Viceland money. So I don't know if he's gonna reach out to a podcast with only 8 episodes.
Yeah, that'd be really cool though.
Yeah, I mean, the dude used to fuck aliens, and he's got a bunch of alien kids out there. Yeah, so yeah, check that dude out if you haven't already.
Okay.
Yeah, he porked aliens.
He porked alien.
It was actually more so they kind of raped him, but
Yeah.
it's kind of fucked up.
Fucked up.
But,
Yeah. Should I go ahead and read this other
Yeah,
story? You kind of derailed,
I
but
kind of took it into a dark spot right
yeah,
there.
maybe.
Yeah, aliens, man, they'll fuck you up.
Okay.
I hope this isn't an alien story.
So this is Christy Michelle Pardon. She is writing us from Lilly, Kentucky. She's got 2 stories. So I figured I'd go ahead and read them both.
Okay.
Um, so, um, yeah, so let's just dive right into that one. She says, when I was in the 4th grade, I got out of bed to go hunting with my dad. I stepped outside to get something out of my dad's car and heard a moaning sound. It reminded me of when someone puts on a sheet in a cartoon and pretends to be a ghost, like on Scooby Doo. It was like woo over and over again. I assumed some random person was trying to scare me from some bushes because we lived in the woods. I had a
Jesus Christ, that'd be equally as scary.
I had a flashlight and began shining it around and moved towards the sound. Where we lived, there was a creek going under the road, and the bridge had no guardrails on it. It was very unsafe. Sounds like it. The sound came from there. I shined my light around the creek and saw that a black truck was laying on its side in the creek. Someone had climbed out and was laying on the side part of what would have been the hood and front area. He was moaning, bleeding, and barely moving. I was also pretty cold, and it was also pretty cold, and he was soaking wet. I shined my light over the truck, and floating inside the window was a man. I saw his arm and the silver watch around his wrist. I remember I had a plaid button up. I had nightmares about it for years, so I still remember how he looked. His friend had climbed on top of him and drowned him in order to drag himself out of the truck. Also, his friend had been the one driving and had been drunk, which is why they wrecked. He lived and was charged with murder. The jaws of life had to get the dead man out. It was my school best friend's dad. After that happened, scary things happened at our home and eventually made us move out. I used to feel like someone was watching me when I took a bath and I'd get terrified. I'd wake up to what felt like someone running their hands all over me. My parents didn't want me sleeping in their bed with them anymore, so I remember getting on my hands and knees and crawling their bedroom, into their bedroom floor to sleep next to them. Myself and my parents, all 3, began to have nightmares about a man setting our house on fire all the time. Most nights, I remember having a breakdown at school telling my teachers I was afraid to go home. What finally got my parents to move was New Year's night, a few months later, when my dad and I were sitting on their bed watching TV, waiting for the ball to drop in their room. My mom went to the kitchen and came back pale and shaking. She said a man was standing in the kitchen and he had a plaid shirt and jeans on and he wasn't moving or talking. My dad went to check and no one was there. We moved only a few weeks later. I remember as we moved, my mom asked me to get her a roll of paper towels to get her um, a roll of paper towels to help her clean up the kitchen. And as I carried them to her, something jerked the roll out of my hands and it hit the wall hard. My mom watched, blinked, and said, "Let's just hurry and get done, and we can go." It came out later that the man was a sexual abuser and an alcoholic and had anger issues. The one who had the one who had died. I was telling a group of friends about this when I was in high school and describing the location when one of the friends began to cry. It took me all day to get out of her what was wrong. She said she lived there too. We had went to the same school, and when my parents moved out, hers moved in. She had been through similar things, only her parents hadn't moved for years. I'm not the type to believe in anything, no religion or anything like that, but these memories I have, I cannot deny.
That's fucking creepy.
Whoa. I got goosebumps from that one too.
Yeah, that's fucking creepy shit.
Oh, don't drink and drive, guys.
Yeah,
Oh, that's super scary. This is her other story. So,
I also kind of wonder, like, why the guy got arrested for murder. Like, he crawled out over his friend and everything.
because I think I don't know if I'm understanding it incorrectly. Sorry,
Because if it took
hiccups
the
from the
if
line.
it took the jaws of life to get the guy
The guy
out,
that died, it took a job's life to get the guy that died out.
yeah,
But I think the guy that got on the hood and lived was the driver
uh,
and survived and was drunk,
I had it mixed
but
up.
like killed his friend getting out of
Yeah,
the truck.
yeah, okay.
That's crazy. It's scary. It's crazy that he like haunted that area and like their house, and
Yeah, that's super fucking
what a
creepy.
traumatizing
Yeah,
experience. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I'm sorry that that happened to you, that you had to see that at such a young age, and it's scary.
actually, that's when a lot of people see all their ghosts as young age. So,
Yeah.
and there's
Um,
another part to that.
yeah. So she also writes. She sent me two. So she said, when I was like 6, my dad and I used to do this game where we would lay on the bed and his feet, and he would use his feet to pick me up on my belly, and I would have my arms and legs like in a Superman position.
It's called
And
the airplane.
yeah, and he would lurch me. I think it meant
Well,
launch me into the air and catch me. Once he did it too hard, and I went to the side of the bed a bit and grazed the ceiling. I started um,
damn.
like lunging for the floor beyond his reach. The floor was made of concrete, and I was going literally head first. When I got to the even side with the bed, I slowed down it like someone had caught me, and then I slowly hit the floor like someone was putting me down. I honestly thought for years that I had imagined it all, but when I asked my dad about it as an adult, he was able to finish the story as I began it without having to tell it.
That's fucking
So
wild.
he remembered it the same way. I know this sounds weird, but a lot of strange things have happened over the years where I should have gotten hurt or even died, but weird interventions have stopped it. Once I got my grandma's gun, looked down the barrel and pulled the trigger, and nothing came out when it should have. I was super young. I know every kid has a sense of importance, and I'm no exception. Lying. I always felt like I was somehow very important and maybe someone was saving me for something. That feeling went away as soon as my daughter was born and I fell into a depression. I wonder sometimes if I lived so long just to have my daughter, who is literally a perfect child. She has this profound empathy. She's not even 2 yet, but she understands how to pet animals and keep from hurting them. She cries when we give our cat medication because he's upset. She knows her alphabet A to Z and she can count to 10. She can sing songs and she knows her colors. And she's only 20 months old. She smiles at everyone and is polite. She truly enjoys life. She loves to sleep and cuddle. She loves people deeply. She throws herself into the floor and weeps when she sees someone she hasn't seen in a few days because she is so happy. She is this deep, intelligent, and full of life person. If I'm here just to give birth to her, then I'm more than fine with that. Oh, that's so sweet.
You should hear the way I talk about my dogs.
Yeah. When I responded to her, I told her I'm happy that she has a happy and healthy daughter, and that she gives sunshine to the dark world that we live in. And so I want to say that when with her response, she said that it took us 7 years of fertility medication to have her, and I'm extremely lucky. And I want to say I'm very happy for you to be able to have a child. I mean, a lot of people struggle with that. I know that Stephen and I have been struggling with that, so I'm really happy that you were able to make that happen and everything. But and have a sweet little girl.
Yeah. So that's all the stories we have written in. But wanted to talk a little bit about something that we're doing this month that we do every October, which is
I love October.
yeah, this is
I
our
love
favorite time. We
October.
love horror movies and all that shit. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the 31 days of Halloween. If you don't know what that is, essentially you watch a horror movie every day in October.
We're gonna do kind of like a recap of the ones we've gotten to so far.
Yeah, or just good ones. Yeah. So far, we're recording this on the. Is this the 17th?
18th?
18th. What did we watch last night? It was
Crawl.
Crawl. Yeah, we watched Crawl last night, and that movie is pretty fucking fun.
It was. Oh, it was so stressful.
I give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. I think maybe I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I was gonna give it a 6.
Yeah, maybe a 6. What are some of the good ones we've watched so far?
What's our list so far? Let's just give them let's just say what we've watched so far.
So, The Perfection on Netflix. Uh-oh. I thought the computer died for a minute. It did not. Sweet. The Perfection on Netflix.
What was that one?
With the cello players.
Oh, that one was good.
Yeah, it starts off real slow. I recommend watching it.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, it's a bunch of twists and turns. I forget who the director was, but I know they did something else that's good. Aftershock, which is about a bunch of tourists who have they're down in Mexico and there's an earthquake.
That one was pretty good.
That was not bad. Not bad. It's got Eli Roth in it, and he plays a total cheese dick. And yeah, not to spoil anything, but I love when he dies. Child's Play, the new one, which I enjoyed.
I actually really liked it.
I liked it too, but it was kind of dumb in like the grand scale of it being a Chucky movie.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. They should have just, instead of trying to like reboot, I don't like when things get like redone. I like to just like, why don't you just make Child's Play like 72 or whatever?
Yeah.
So, but that's just me. The Dead Don't Die. That was pretty good. It's slow, dry humor zombie movie with Bill Murray in it.
I really liked that movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I wish that it got. I was hoping.
I think I just love Bill Murray so much.
Yeah, I love Bill Murray a lot too.
And I was like, oh, it's an amazing movie.
And it's got the dude from Star Wars in it that plays the new bad guy who, like, when you see him take off his helmet in that first new Star Wars, you're like, this is the guy who got to be the bad guy, this chicken dick looking motherfucker. He looks like an adult little kid. Yeah, but I liked him in this movie. But yeah, I was hoping that there was going to be like a really like I thought I wanted a little more gore. Chillerama. Watch this on Amazon now. Wadzilla.
Oh my god, Chillerama was. I told everybody about work.
Chillerama.
I was like, you gotta watch it.
This guy shoots a huge juggernaut sperm that grows and grows and grows and eats people, and then
Well,
you'll just have to see what happens from there.
it's a bunch of like
It's a bunch of short.
it's like
movies.
a bunch of short horror films.
God,
it's
it was
good.
so good. It's everything you want in a terrible fucking
Well, don't
movie.
give it away. Don't.
I'm
say
not
too
giving
much.
away anything.
Say
Slither.
too much.
I love Slither. It's the one with the. It's got some like alien slugs that. It's great. Watch Slither. I give Slither a 7 out of 10. Dark Skies.
Oh God, such a good
I
movie.
love Dark Skies. Check it out. Aliens. It's cool. Yeah, I give that. That's probably actually. That's like my third highest ranked one on our list right now. I wrote some witch movie. I don't know the name of that first witch movie was. It was a complete and total ripoff of The Craft.
It was,
but it was good. Yeah, it was not. It wasn't the worst movie I've seen in my life. A remake of The Blob with the guy who played Johnny Drama on Entourage. The funny part, it was made in the 80s, so I could almost pretend that it was Johnny Drama just being in a terrible movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it cracked me the fuck up. I enjoyed it. I gave that a 6 out of 10. And then I watched One Night Without You. I watched Scream 2.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the second best Scream. Actually, maybe the third best Scream. Super 8.
Great movie.
Great movie. I love little kids swearing and getting into shit.
God, I love that movie.
It's Stranger Things like 10 years before Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it was that much before Stranger Things.
Yeah, maybe.
Hold on. Googling.
Cabin in the Woods, which is my favorite horror movie of all time. I think it's one of the most innovative, clever ones, while like remaining completely like just stereotypical. It's fucking great.
Okay, Super 8 was in 2011.
Woo.
I guess
Yeah.
not 10 years, but
The Gate. The
yeah.
Gate was also on Amazon. I loved it. Anytime there's just terrible 80s
1987
monster movies, yeah, it was pretty fun. A very great ending. So I like anything where pets are involved. We watched Darkness Falls. That movie was fucking garbage trash. And if you love that movie, you probably are too. Midsummer.
That movie was such shit.
It was fucking bullshit. Yeah. Midsummer.
Great. It was a pretty good movie.
Yeah. So I was talking to our buddy Brian, and he told me that he just downloaded a director's cut of that movie that's an hour longer.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ. I can't imagine another hour, but like, the only thing that bums me out is I had heard how great Midsummer was, and I don't know. I thought it was going to be like way gorier.
I thought it was going to be gorier.
I thought it was going to
kind of slow.
Yeah, I thought it was going to get super fucked up, and like it did, but not in the way like
I was expecting super fucked up.
Yeah, I was expecting. Yeah, and that's
it's
all.
Still pretty fucked up.
That's all. Yeah, it's super fucked up.
It's still pretty.
It's a different kind of fucked up than what I thought it was going to be. And yeah, then we watched House of the Witch.
Yeah,
that was pretty bad. I think I'm done with witch movies, with the exception of Hocus Pocus for the rest of the months. Back. And then I was like, we started with Crawl. Watch Crawl. Alligators fucking people up.
Suspenseful.
It's very suspenseful. And I don't know what we're gonna watch tonight, but we're gonna watch something literally right after this.
And more wine.
Probably more. Oh fuck! It's Friday. That's fucking weird. We're gonna eat some Ben and Jerry. I've been losing a little weight, so I'm gonna eat Ben and Jerry's. And the other half of that cookie that I ate the first half of.
I bought that cookie yesterday and I never got around to eating it. No.
I don't like to eat anything from Starbucks, but
that's not from Starbucks.
Oh, good. No, I don't feel as bad.
That's from my work.
Oh, I thought it was Starbucks.
No.
Well, fuck yeah.
Anyways,
morals intact.
Well, guys, Thanks for listening, guys, gals, and ghouls, and what is the other things?
I don't know.
Ghosts and ghouls and
Monsters.
goblins and.
You're all a
Anyways,
bunch of monsters.
happy Halloween.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have some more before Halloween.
And I'll just keep saying happy Halloween.
Let us. Hopefully we have some more interviews coming soon.
Send us your shit.
Send us your stories. Yeah. Cool beans. Thanks for listening. Find us. I guess you're already listening to us, but go to our website, send us an email, say hi.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Goodbye.